treating the muscles, then they feel relief for a while, but the situation comes back again. So this is when the body, our autonomous nerve system, the autonomous nerve system creates things on purpose. The intelligence is huge. We're still to understand. The full nature is inside us. So now the question is, when and why my system created things on purpose. Just to review briefly the angle theory. In this angle theory, we talk that everybody is born with different skills in life, different virtues, and then we have to run our life developing these virtues. That if you do so, destiny will unfold by itself, and then you are full of health, physically and emotionally. Right? As soon as something goes, when you're breaking away from your natural path, this is like a natural destiny. As soon as you break away, your body starts to give message, and these messages are symptoms. First, energetic symptoms, emotional and physical symptoms. So in this case is when the origin treatment, we use the origin treatment because the disease is not a problem, actually is a warning. It's a beautiful warning and we have to listen to. If you listen to it, then things go fast. If you don't listen to it, the things will aggravate until you listen. So the autonomous nervous system is a messenger. When we are breaking apart from a natural path is when this one is giving the signal. And then we are shaking here, this is the job of the dragon, shaking the patient so the patient can find the way back to who I really am. I was born for this, I was born for that. You know? When we are shaking the patient here, this is the origin treatment job, origin treatment. Just shaking people that are going in their own destiny, in a way. Yeah, now you want to know the magic behind. In order to understand origin treatment, first of all, we need to know that we don't blame any organs. There's nothing to be blamed. We have the organs, we're going to work on the poles. In the pole we have the lungs, heart and pericardium. These three organs are called heaven organs because they are from the upper area. The Chinese, they call it the heavens. Then we have the liver and the spleen, and these two organs are human. This in this side is the human organs. And the kidneys, both kidneys, are the earth. All these organs, you remember, all of them are yin organs. The yang, the couple of these people, the husbands, this one we don't use it. Like lung is the large intestine, heart is small intestine, pericardium is triple warmer, it's not an organ, gallbladder for the liver, spleen is stomach, and the kidney is the urinary bladder. Those are the yangs. We are not gonna use the yang organs in origin treatment because they can change my life a little bit, but not deeply. If I have to go to a toilet, then the urinary bladder will change my life, but it will change my life for a few minutes, nothing so deep. Same thing for all of this one. So they are important, of course, like everybody, but they are not so much. We are going to get focused on the yin organs because they run my destiny. In pulse taking, we check only these organs, the genes. So what we have here, this family, it is 14 members. In every organ we have two aspects, the yang and the yin. The yin, it is always at the center. So this is the idea of yin and yang. Yin is at the center, yang is at the surface. Yin is the female aspect. Right? In traditional societies, the wife is at the house, supporting the whole family, and the husband, it is at the front door, defensive. In the traditional societies, the girls are always in the tribe, protecting children, protecting food, and everything, and the husband, they have to go hunting, or they have to go threatening their lives. So yang is more aggressive, more active, and more surface, and the yin is the holder. So this one is the genes. We are caring about this one. However, in every yin organ, we have also to divide into yin and yang. Yin and yang is always a split. You think about of an atom, the nucleus of the atom is yin, and the electron who is running around, that will be the yang. So everything can be divided into yin and yang, as much as you want. So the same thing here, we have this lung organ, which is yin. However, we can divide this one into yang, at the surface, outside, at the center, yin. So this gray color that you will see in the paper, gray color line, are all the yin. The girls at the moon and the sun are the guys. So in this family that we have inside with the yin organs, it is already 14 members. 14 members. Because we divide every organ into two, including the pericardium, that we are not going to use it in origin treatment. It's a separated treatment by itself. So how many conflicts are possible in a group of 14 members? Many conflicts are possible, right? Even with two people you can fight. So imagine 40 members just to make these people organized. If there is something wrong in the group, in the full destiny or the full body, we cannot blame this guy. Said it is the Lang Yang to be blamed. Even though he's making trouble, he's part of a situation. Because sometimes in this group, this guy is terrible, but if you take this guy to another group, he's such a nice guy. So this is society, this is families, so it depends on, we have to blame everybody. Everybody's a small piece of it. Maybe he said, I'm doing nothing. Maybe this is why the conflicts, you should do something. Or maybe I'm doing too much. This is what we have to search in the pulse. What is called pathogenic relationship between the organs. Nobody's bad, nobody's good. It's the whole situation that everybody created together that we have to fix. We don't fix people, we fix situations. When the situation is beautiful, every member is beautiful too. Do you agree? You remember this study of 78 years by the Harvard University. The final conclusion is nothing, it is about diet or anything. The whole thing is quality in relationships, which is very interesting because it's the same for us. The beauty in interactions create health and longevity. They were studying these two things. And if you're broken, you have a pathogenic relationship, it doesn't matter how healthy you eat, how much do you run in the morning, how much exercise. No, if this is wrong, the full system goes like. Just imagine in a cage, you put a rabbit inside, and then you'd analyze all his blood pressure, maybe his pupils, electrical shocks in the brain. You put all the analysis, hormones inside to the rabbit, and then you put inside the cage a fox. So the rabbit will go crazy, all the hormones, the pupils will go like this. You can see so many changes in the blood pressure, in everything, right? Do we blame the fox? No, it's not the fox actually. You put another fox, nothing happened, right? The relationship between these two is not going, and nobody to be blamed. If you remove the fox and you bring the mother of the rabbit, then you're checking this one and the full hormones are different, the eyes coming down, the behavior changes. So everything changes according with the relationship that you have with that with any members. So important that we don't blame anybody. Sometimes the holder of the symptom, it is the victim in a way. Could be. In every situation is different. So what I like to do it is I give different names in order to understand what happened when a situation break down. And this is where I bring these characters, Sadistic and the Maso. It's just a way of calling it, because I think everybody is comfortable with these kind of names, even the patients. Remember, if we talk about the spirits, they will go crazy, but if we say subconsciousness, they might understand better. Sometimes we have to explain things to the patients. So when we speak about Sadistic and Maso, for them it's possible to understand. I think it could be, nobody knows. For me, it could be that this relationship, because it's according with the pulse, I found out this checking many pulses, that the Sadistic is the mother in those times, right now it's the other way around, and the Maso is the son. We will see now. But I like to think that this is not a modern acupuncture, but it's connecting with the ancient way of looking at things, because the idea is always observing nature. We have to go with nature. So I'll tell you what is a Sadistic and a Maso, maybe you understand better. We have to, again, break into yin and yang. Yin comes first always, because all kind of healings are happening always from the in out. Remember, the reactions is important. So always from the deepest out, it is long-lasting healing. Anyway, we are always starting with the yin. And then we have to differentiate also into yin and yang, Maso. This Maso yin, Sadist yin, we call it sadist. by itself because it's much more common. So it's just to say this by itself. You can say Sadist yin. And this Sadist yang, we call it yang, just to make a difference between this one. This is the most important is this one. I'll tell you why. Because this one is creating the troubles, and this one is not so much. Sadist yang. Masochistic, you have another name, it's called absent, because we will see the poles quite down. So the poles is like absent poles. And this one, Sadist yang, we call it evident, or just maso. Let's talk about Sadist yin here, Sadist yin for the moment, and this is Sadist yang. We will see that this connection is the most common between Sadist yin, Maso yang. The formation of this pathogenic relationship, it might come from Sadists creating Masos, or it might come from Masos creating Sadists. It is like, it doesn't matter. Both things are possible. I'll explain you the different stories. First of all, let's think that Sadist is creating Masos. Sadist is a member in the group, in this group, that for some reason is starting to hold an inferiority complex, starting to feel inferior in relation with everybody else in the group. So it is holding an inferiority complex. It doesn't mean that the full patient has an inferiority complex. It's just a particular subconsciousness in a particular aspect of one organ, it is holding an inferiority complex. Sometimes can be so powerful that it takes your full personality, or sometimes maybe not. It's just one aspect of your life, it is holding this one. You might think that everybody sometimes feel a little bit difficult sometimes. Of course, we are not perfect. So the problem of a complex, so it doesn't matter you feel inferior sometimes. The problem is when you try to hide it. Then it becomes a complex, it becomes a trauma. You don't know that you are holding this inferiority, but it's there. Even though you're not aware of it, it is changing your behavior in life. Every time you take decisions, I'll try to explain and see if you can. Let's say that everybody thinks, let's go swimming this weekend, and I don't know how to swim. If I stand up and say, guys, I don't know how to swim, and so the problem, right? I feel inferior because you are great swimmers and I am not. If I confessed, then no complex. The problem it is that my mind starts thinking, oh, we have to go swimming this weekend. I don't know how to swim, but I don't want these people to know. This is the beginning of a complex. Right? Then many things are coming from my mind and said, how can I change the situation? I have to make the full group move into the mountains. Somehow. Then it starts. So the sadist becomes mental. Right away you start thinking, and becomes a great psychologist or analyzer, analyzing the other members. As a psychologist, to analyze everybody's, you know you have to move these people. So how can I do? This is the how can I do, it become mental, and then I'm checking who is a better swimmer, who could be this, that, finding ideas to cover up my fears. This is the starting of a sadist. It's very simple to finish it up. You just say, guys, I don't know how to swim. You make a laugh, and then done. But sometimes we don't do so. We said, I don't want these people to know. This is the starting of the problem, right? It could be like maybe just you extend this for 3 days, and finally say, you know, this is too much for me. I'm going to tell you the truth. Then also done. But then you can continue for years and years, and this is when you develop a strong complex. And if you can think of, if you have a 40 members group here working, if one of them it is doing tricky things, then slowly will create problems all around. In a matter of a few days or a few weeks, now the situation will be strange, and sometimes nobody knows how this started, you know. And maybe you just very naive. You say, let's go to the beach together. How could you know that it was the starting of the full complex or the full problem, right? You didn't know that I'm holding these fears. Right? So yeah, it became very mental, very like a great analyzer, and of course a manipulator. He has to do something, or she has to do something in order to manipulate the situation. In order to manipulate the situation, he has or she has to manipulate members. That's the only way. I mean, if I want to cut up, maybe I can even manipulate myself. I just have an accident, so I can even walk. Sorry guys, you go to the beach, I cannot walk. That's another possibility. You manipulate even yourself. So the amount of strategies for the sadists, it is enormous. It's sometimes so clever, so amazing how much we can do in order to run away from fears, from situations. And those are beautiful to observe, but most of the time, because we are even afraid to tell to our consciousness, it is in a subconscious level. Sometimes I don't even know consciously that I am afraid of water, like swimming in this example. So, what to do? I'm sure all of us, we are facing this situation sometimes. What to do you are in this big brother group that you cannot run away from the situation, and you have all these members like a family sharing day after day. So most of the time is a strategy. It is I need somebody in this group to help me. I need another member to help me. And that will be my maso. He or she is thinking to create a pathogenic relationship with another member, and he will be my voice. He will be my action. I cannot say I don't want to go to the beach, but if somebody else says so, maybe I'm safe. So that's another strategy, right? So the maso is one of the members. Sometimes you can be a little bit balanced, but it's one of the members that is holding another complex. The maso is holding a insufficient complex. So the insufficient complex is like everything I do along my day is not enough. I should do more and more. So he becomes not mental. He's very physical, and he is a doer. So this is perfect for the sadist. It's perfect because he's not very mental. He will not catch my tricks. He will not get my manipulations. Why? Because he's very into doing physical job. So he's distracted with some muscles action. I can easily come and manipulate. He will not be aware of my intentions. So it becomes it's safe. But if you go to somebody that needs balance or a little bit sadist like you, then it will be like, what are you trying to tell me? Are you afraid of swimming? Then I will be caught. So the most important thing in order to save your ass, it is not to be caught. So this guy, then you see fully doing in the group, helping everybody. This is the more safe member to approach at the beginning. Then you look around and see, okay, these 14 members, I see that the spleen jam is like a worker. So let me approach to him, and then how can I approach it? It becomes very clever, very mental. Analyzing first the whole group, this guy that I want to approach, and then you start talking like, you know why this beach idea, for the weekend, what do you think about it? He becomes very clever going on to his mind, because trying to put the idea of the mountain in his mind. And as soon as this is already convinced, in a way, this is very clever and this is a bit silly. Not silly, but it's busy. Right? So it becomes silly. Then it's not so difficult. You manipulate this guy, and then you just step backwards, and the master will do the job. Then the master will face the people, face the group, which for him is a pleasant, because he likes to do things. So don't worry, I'll do it for you. Stay there, I will save you. This is his attitude, this is his personality. So then he's speaking to everybody, let's go to the mountain. And he has the power to fight until we go to the mountain, because he is a physical fighter. And then when everybody is going to the mountain, this guy in the car is like, I've done it. Yeah? They feel inferior, but in a way, they get in another area, they feel so proud of my ability to manipulate people. They're starting to think everybody's stupid but me. And I can easily move these people as I wanted to. So it becomes a little bit tricky mind. So it compensates its inferiority complex, and this is when it becomes the problem. When you feel inferior, but you achieve something, you haven't achieved anything. You manipulate people, which is an achievement. So for these people, they love, of course, achievements. They love because when you feel inferior, any achievements will give you like a little bit of pleasure, right? Oh, great. But again, they're still feeling inferior, so they need more. They're starting to fall into a game that only manipulating people, I feel relief from my complex. So even in silly things that are no need to, they continue manipulating here and around, just for the pleasure of me seeing how much I can do. Just to see if I am the son of a god, to see how clever I am. I'm going to do something silly. I will take everybody jumping in from that fence. So let me see how can I do it. Then I manipulate this one, manipulate that one. When everybody is doing, I say, my God, I'm so powerful. I can do everything I want with these people. Just for the pleasure of power, in a way. They're starting to do. Of course, we have different levels of a sadist. Some of them are very too much, some of the ones are not as much. But when it's a lot, it is impossible. These people are just playing games for the pleasure of manipulating people. That pleasure brings them a little bit of compensation in the inferiority complex. However, it will never end. It is no way to solve the situation. You achieve by manipulation, you will never finish your inferiority complex. Sometimes it will grow, it will grow, it will grow. They feel so insecure inside. The only thing I can do in my life, I cannot even hold a glass of water. The only thing I can do is to manipulate people. This is the only thing I'm good at it. But everybody else, I can hardly walk sometimes. So it becomes worse and worse and worse, the fears. So they are very mental, only just sitting here, and from here I can control everybody else. Of course, they are comfortable in conflicts. They provoke on purpose conflict, because if everybody is a little bit confused and crazy, there is more chances for me to get my things done. So they don't like balanced situation. When things are balanced, somebody, the member, will kind of break it down. And they say, why we are so having fun here right now? It's a very peaceful time. Why are you bringing this up right now? Yeah, because he knows that without conflicts, he is a little bit lost. With conflicts, he's comfortable. It's the nature for him to do his work, right? We are all sometimes sadists in our life. Sometimes not, but depends on the situation. By the way, you will see in this paper that I draw here a circle in all these organs. In all the organs we have a circle. If the pulse fluctuates a little bit up and down, a little bit high now, after a few minutes it's a little bit low, this is balance. This line here that I draw here in the middle, this is what we call the Tao line. Tao is the balance between yin and yang. So the Tao line means the balance line. If the pulse is fluctuating nearby, dancing with this Tao line, it means that you are balanced, adapting to situations, right? However, if you are breaking the Tao line a lot, going too high, if the pulse in comparison with everybody else, you have to get first the Tao line, or the average of everybody. Everybody has a different intensity in the pulse. The average is different. So first you have to go around to see what is the average, or we call constitution of everybody. The constitution of every patient, which is the average of all the pulses. From that starting point, sometimes this is a bit confusing, because everybody has a different intensity in the pulse. When you get the average of everybody, from that line, then you have to measure if it's too high, too low. Balance is the ability to adapt to different situations. This is balance, the ability to adapt. It doesn't mean that you are fully perfect all the time. This is not a balanced person. If the situation demands you to be sadist a little bit, then you have to. If you are sadist for, let's say, half an hour, and then you break it up, then it's no problem, you're balanced. Sometimes you have to be a little bit maso. You are maso for a few minutes because you think the situation is demanding a worker, then you are balanced. So don't freak out. If you are a bit of everything, it means you are balanced. The problem becomes when you are full-time manipulator. Even if you change the group, this is your family, then you go to the office, still doing the same thing, manipulating everybody in the office. If you go to a football team and you do the same, then you are a sadist. So the characteristic of this maso yang, we call it evident maso. So let's say that from this Tao line, I find one of the pulses very high. It's very evident that it's high. Because this is a doer. He's working double than the rest. You're supposed to, let's say, like we give 5 points to every organ, 5 points of energy. Right? Now the maso, it is taking the 8. He's working more than everybody else. You can see from outside, it's clear this guy is doing all the job and everybody's not as much. So he's an extra worker. So he takes more energy. When you check the pulse, you can see that the organ normal, tac, tac, and the muscle is like boom, boom, boom. Okay, this organ is working double, harder. It's evident that you are working so much. Why do you work so much? Nobody's asking you for that. You're holding on this insufficient complex. Everything I do is not enough, let me do more. You accidentally said the day is too short, I wish it will be 28 hours, but not 24 is too little, I want more. Yeah, in our society right now, our society is very sadist. We are quite masos, all of us. We talk about in the working area, because our society is also very hidden. The maso doesn't know sometimes what is going on. Most of the time he doesn't know. But he feels a strong connection with this other member. After some time, the maso will ask also, will you please, they increase the connection, will you please continue doing that thing that you do to me? I don't know what is it actually, but in a way I love you. It becomes like a loving relationship. Will you do it again? And then this one, even the sadist is lying down doing nothing, he will come and then knocking and said, please, will you manipulate me again? Because, why? Because you give me a meaning of what I do. They're searching for the meaning of life. This is why they come to the sadist. Most of the time, because they are just doers, and they go a little bit stupid in the mind, doing, they forget what is the purpose of what I'm doing. Very common when we are working sometimes in a society, the purpose is just to pay the bank. However, I'm a bit lost in what I'm doing. But this one, when it comes to him or to her, this one is telling me what to do. So it's very pleasant when someone tells me what to do. I feel comfortable. It's like the pleasure of slavery, in a way. When you are fully free, it's a little bit difficult. But if someone is telling you what to do, you have to obey the order without thinking. For then it's comfortable. So if there is no orders coming from here, then I get lost. My activities, which I need to do, I need a lot of activities, they start being meaningless. So I need another again your command. Please, sadist, give me the meaning of my job. Both of them are victims, but this one looks like more like the bad guy. So better not to think who is the bad guy or the good guy. However, of course, the doer, everybody like it because he's doing a lot, and the manipulator, nobody likes him. But I try not to think that the sadist is the bad guy. However, it's true that he is the guy creating more symptoms and more problems. This one are not creating so much. However, they depend on one another. Imagine that this is an inferiority complex, a sadist is trying to manipulate this one here, but no chance because it's balanced. Then I try here, no chance. If everybody is balanced, then this one will be balanced too. So in a way, you are a sadist because masos are also coming to you to say, yes, do that thing that you do to me. I don't know what is it, but do it again. Then, so both of them create the troubles together. This is a sado-maso relationship. Yeah, the maso depends a lot. Actually, it will have a lot of resistance. If you destroy the sadist, this one will fight. They say, no, don't touch it, it's mine. Because without your command, my life becomes meaningless. They are very afraid. They're always searching, when they do a lot, when we do a lot of things, we are searching for love. So in a way, this insufficient complex, it is like, I don't see the love of the group. I don't see the respect of the group. So because I'm searching for more respect and more love, let me do it, let me cook for you today. So then soon you will love me because of this. And then extra favors. Constantly doing favors for the members to love me. But in a way, the problem of the masos, they're not the good guys. And this is a great difficulty in every group. They are thieves. What do they steal? They steal your experience. If I do everything for you, just sit down, I'll cook for you every day. Then I steal the experience for you to see what is cooking. If I do it one day, no problem. If I do it 2 days, no problem. But if I do it for 5 years, you will be useless in the kitchen. Am I right? So on the long run, they're making everybody, let's say on this guy here, it is a maso, for many years, everybody else become a little bit useless, a little bit down. So that he's taking I do my job, and I do the job of the spleen, I do the job of the liver, so then these people become a bit lazy. So the most difficult part, the most dangerous part of a maso, it is like there is stealing experiences, because too much of the working. Just I want you to love me, so let me do it for you. It's like nowadays it's a mother overdoing on the son, so the son becomes a sadist. Now this is the situation in nowadays. Before even when in pregnancy time, when the baby is still in the belly of the mother, then the parents nowadays, because the consuming society, society is quite sadist nowadays, so we are great masos, all of us. So the society is telling me that you are a good father or a good mother, you are overdoing on your child. This is nowadays the message. So before the baby comes, I got because the doctor told me is a girl, a full room in pinky colors with a lot of toys. Just before you're born, everything is ready. When the baby born, then you can see that everything is done. So then I'm losing the meaning of my assistant, what I'm here for. The message is, I think I'm useless and I shouldn't be here. Everything is done. Nothing for me to do. Right? So they become sadists. Now this is the story how masos, stealing experience, can create sadist. If everything around you, if everybody is doing everything, you hands down here, you feel, oh, I'm useless. If you get this conclusion, it is inferiority complex. The conclusion that I'm useless. Right? So very common that the baby is a normal baby, balanced by the universe, and the parents are overdoing, and slowly when the kid is already 2 years, even 1 year and a half, becomes a great manipulator of the full family. Just with 1 year and a half, it's possible, 2-3 years, then the parents, master parents, this is impossible, this kid is impossible, it's fully manipulating. It's a nice example to understand. Let me get this. If you get a glass of water like this, and your baby with 3 years old is fighting to get it like this, then a maso mother or a maso father from the other side of the room will say, my baby is thirsty. So running to the baby, giving the glass of water, put it in the mouth. This is overdoing. And not in the hand, even in the mouth. And the baby is crying. The baby didn't know that it was water inside. Baby didn't want to drink. The baby was not thirsty. He wanted to achieve. Just an achievement. You allow the baby you help the baby a little bit like this. This is balanced parents. Then the baby struggle, and then smiling. And suddenly, because they didn't know that it was water inside. They smile like every human when we achieve. So don't support children so much. Give them the chance to achieve, but don't do everything for them. So nowadays the parents are giving water, clothes, everything. So the babies are like, well, now nothing, just play, enjoy yourself, because everything else is done. Easily they become sadists, which is painful because inside they feel inferior. I can see before the psychologists in the 70s, 60s, starting to do a lot of research. They traumatized the population. I remember they traumatized my mother too, because they said everything you do to the child can be a trauma for the life. So now these are untouchable people, like a crystal people. You cannot even, don't slap children, don't do anything actually. Everything could be a trauma. So all the parents are like, oh, we have all these studies. Oh, are you comfortable? Everything for you, everything for you. Then easily they become sadists. In India, they don't have all these psychologists going crazy with the society. So in India, I could see even 2 years old, the child is helping in the kitchen. This is not, it is good, it's supposed to be like this. And they are very proud. They are coming here and then, mama, and they don't smile outside, but inside. You can see Indians working with 5 years old. What is the problem of working for children? It's good, but this consuming society, they like sadists. Why sadists? Because they destroy, they play with the money of the parents. They're constantly asking, so it's good for the consuming society. You have a sadist child, it's very good for them. More money will go. So then when I think it happened around in the 80s, when the consuming society approached children, now we started to have another society. Before, all the advertisements were mainly to the father. because the father was the guy making the money in those times, and the wife was at the kitchen. Slowly they did a little bit on the mother, and then when they find out, the best thing is to approach these people. Children, if we are children sadists, then this one will work double or 3 times more. This is the problem. So these psychologists, I don't know, I don't think they did it on purpose, but everybody was afraid of slapping, and slapping is good sometimes. You do it with an education purpose. Children are searching for limits. This is the limits, done. Don't cross this border. I am the father, I have to put a limit, otherwise they're lost. If they are lost, they also become inferior. Without my parents, I don't know what to do. I cannot take decisions. Yeah, this is the reverse situation nowadays. Now the parents are masos, and the children are sadists. So this is how masos can create sadists. But overdoing on them, you overdo on one of these members, slowly this member becomes useless, because you are a thief of his experiences. So as soon as you feel useless, slowly you get the conclusion inside. Everybody else can get a glass of water, but I can't. I have to open my mouth and cry. Then water is coming. A manipulation. Why you don't go? You are 5 years old. Why don't you go like this? In India, they have stools for the children to go like this, and they can do everything in the kitchen. Yeah. So are you thirsty? Go and get your water. Here is the stool. You do it. They love it. They need to achieve. They come in here to achieve. They feel proud of themselves like every other human. We need to achieve things. But now the message in society, you do something like this, you're a bad mother, you're a bad father. Oh, how can you do like this? You have your hands. It's easier for you to give water to your child. What is the stool doing here? Oh my God, what the psychologist might say about it? You traumatize. See, he will have a stool trauma. Yeah, it's too much on that. But I think, yeah, this is right nowadays. For me, it's very uncomfortable to have children nowadays, because easily, even you are balanced, easily they become sadists. And having 3 or 4 sadists in the house is impossible, because they're searching for conflicts, searching for problems, creating problems. They don't know because they're children, but yeah, difficult nowadays.
Have you got children?
I do. And my daughter was, right now, is quite well. She's 15. She was very sadist. I'll tell you the stories for you to understand. She was asking me, buy me this. I don't remember what was it. Sometimes they want you to buy things just for the power, just to feel the power of I can manipulate my father. Not because they really want it. Sometimes you buy it, you see the money, they see your pain here. Okay, and you give it, and then they break it. Or they don't use it. So you told me you want it. No, what I wanted is to manipulate you. That is my game. No, this is boring. The entertaining part is to manipulate you. So once I knew the trick, and she was asking these kind of tricks. So okay, I told her, okay, I buy it, but you have to achieve. I mean, it was a bit heavy. You have to take it to the house. I will not carry it on. You have to do it yourself. And they said, yes. She knew in the corner of her mind, I'm not going to do it anyway. This is another manipulation to my father. Anyway, I pay for it. I got it. I give it to her. Remember, you promised me you carry it on? And then immediately she was holding this one and said, throw it to the floor. Because she was feeling inferior. I cannot all the way to my house carry something I've never done in my life. Not even holding. It was less than 1/4 of a kilo. It was not heavy. How can I hold this all the way to house? That was too much for her. Because sadists feel inferior. Even something simple, she was not used to. Everybody around her, all the thieves, the mother, the grandmother, me, everybody, stealing experience from him. So she just dropped it out and ran, like a good strategy. What could I do? I pay for it, so I have to pick it up, and I have to carry it myself. Then she was running, running all around. Come, here. At the front door, before climbing up the stairs, of course, you will have to come to the door. So I gave it to her and said, you remember, you promised me that you will hold it all the way up to the house, just only 1 floor up. And she was very angry with me, holding it, and then going up. She was feeling like, I don't want my mother to see me with doing something, achieving. Otherwise, I will break my, something. My strategy with her and everything. So she made up, like, on the way, she to make this feet a little bit weak on purpose, And then she was falling all the way down the stairs down. I was a little bit afraid, not too much, because I knew it was a manipulation. Then what is going on? Come on. And then crying, she pushed me and ran away up. Without that thing. Oh my gosh, these studies are so clever, it's so difficult. Right? What I did, is like, okay, I went to my house, and then I woke up early in the morning. I knew that she will come in at 8:30 for the school. So I was there before 8:30 with that thing. And then I was sitting here. She was very surprised to see me in the morning. What are you doing here? Well, I've been here all night, waiting for you to finish your job. And then the mother was there, so I was getting a little bit the support of the mother. And the mother, it was a deal, I said, I pay, but you have to do it. And then the mother said, yes, just do it. The mother was not agree with me because it was another muscle. I can do it. No, let her do it. I mean, let me be a father for a minute, And then she was very hungry, going out. And I said, yes, an achievement, give me a kiss, running away. No, a kiss, no, nothing. She was comfortable to be sadist. She didn't want to break it. The game is manipulating. If I don't manipulate, I don't get achievements. If I don't get achievement, my inferiority complex doesn't get this candy of a little bit of relief. They want to achieve, but only manipulations. They don't want to achieve real achievements. The real achievements are the ones that are useful for everybody, for the whole group. If you are doing something for yourself, it is a sadist. You are doing something for everybody, we are teamwork, then it's an achievement. So give children things to do that are useful with real consequence, not a game, real consequence for the full family. Yeah, this is important. And also very important, in order to help sadists, don't steal. These thieves, they steal even the achievements, the masos. Let's say that one child achieve something in the party, even just blow the candles in the birthday party. All the masses around, the cousin, the uncle, all the adults around, they exaggerate the celebration. Very good, very well. Just a little bit of, and then they are not stupid. They think, okay, I should be very stupid. There's the conclusion inside. Just blowing. And everybody's so, and I can see my mother doing the cooking, the cleaning, and nobody goes like, So I do something like, and then I overreacted of amazing. So that's another way. Nowadays, the parents exaggerate a lot any kind of achievements. So they're thieves stealing the achievement. So I don't think it's achievement anymore. If I can tell Mama, look at this drawing. Do you like it? You know that the drawing is just okay. It's not amazing. And the mother goes, this is so beautiful. Look at it, everybody. He's an artist. And then you go like, then they put here in the wall, and then you can see your stupid drawing for every day. And then just a single achievement, a small thing. And I was learning a little bit to draw. Now I think I can draw anymore. Yeah. Then again, thieves. Nowadays it's a difficult situation with this parents' society. The problem is a chain. Sadist is the government, and we don't know who is it. Sadist is always hidden in the group. Sometimes you don't know which one it is. Same thing in who is ruling the world. Some people they say that pharmaceutical industry is ruling the world. Coca-Cola is also, but not the politician. Who is really ruling all this craziness? Nobody knows. It's a sadist on the top, making everybody to work harder. We are all masos of something that we don't know. So, in a group of 14 members, one single muscle is not enough for the sadist. It's not enough, but because let's say that this guy or this girl, it could be any. Then, for example, he becomes sick. He's not coming today to the office. So then this one will get into a panic attack. Oh, my muscle, which is my protector, is not here today. What to do? So usually he's comfortable picking up or developing more muscles. At least we will work out on this, on an origin treatment, around 3 or even 4 muscles, which is a lot in a 14 members group. And actually we are not counting the pericardium as much. So it will be even like 12 members group, 3 or 4 are your own masos. It's quite a lot, is it? So what is common in our pulse taking, you will see one sadist yin and one maso yang. Sorry, and 3 or 4 maso yangs. This is what we will see in our pulse taking and in our questioning to the patient. So we will question the patient about every organ, and because this is related with your life. I'll tell you later, they don't know yet, I'll tell you later what is the relation in every organ with our everyday life. So the strong connection that creates a patient relationship is between a sadist girl and a stupid working man. This is, no man, a few men, this is more common. It's easy for a very clever girl to get a very macho man, like, this is to manipulate this guy, so easy. So this is the strongest connection. And the guy slowly, without you, my life is meaningless, so I need your command, I need your support, I need everybody to love me, so tell me what to do. So both of them are holding one another. Nobody is the best. So these people, the sadist, yin, they don't really love this man. They can even kill them if they have to. They can't. Sometimes they tell, "I love you," but it's fake. However, this one, they really love this man. The love is going in this direction. I really love and depend on you, but you are just part of my muscles. I can easily replace you. I can just get another muscle and then I pretend and sorry, bye. He was troublemaker. I create another muscle, and the other one, but I love you. Yeah, I love you too, and fuck you. So these people, they are in an emergency because they feel emergency inside, so strong, inferiority complex, that I cannot love anybody but myself. When I see you like not working, then I come and then give you a kiss, and then just to maintain you alive. But in reality, they don't love it. They can't replace it easily. However, this one, if you destroy my sadist, this is unreplaceable. I don't know if you can say that in English. You cannot replace. This is. If you die, I'll kill myself with you. They can be so much in love that you are my life, actually. But this one is not. You are not my life. You are using you as equal as I can use any other one. Sometimes just to see my power as a sadist, just to see my power, they like to check the power. I just let me replace you, just to see I can manipulate. You are too easy to me now, no challenge anymore. Let me just manipulate somebody else. So sorry, you are gone. Yeah. This boring job, this boring game, you're too easy right now. They become narcissists because they feel inside like it is not that they're bad people. Yeah, not the best, but also it's an emergency. I cannot help anybody because I have a lot inside me. So this is just emergency. Only save myself is quite a lot of job for them. So I wish if I'm fine, I can help everybody, but I have to help myself, which is a mistake. This is why he was saying is they're stupid. It's a mistake. Only just going like this, you create more troubles. You stop being like that, go out, and this will go away. Absent is another form of maso absent, and this one, maso absent, these are holding impotency complex. So it's like a giving up. I give up because this is when you get to the pulse in these organs, you will see that the pulse, it is from the tau line, average, it is down, absent. It means I'm not going to participate in this group. I give up with these people. It's impossible to help. It's impossible to cooperate. Any kind of activity with this group is impossible. So I become an absent in the group. I just do nothing. I don't create troubles. Absent, they don't create troubles, but also they don't help the group. They don't help themselves also. They basically are on a strike. Give up. We can tell a story to the patient. Sometimes how do you know this? Because sometimes evident muscle, when you are doing without achievements, you're doing a lot in the house, but you don't get a peace in the house, maybe because he's a sadist in the house. So this guy is doing, but the sadist is around here, sadist is here, and then you cannot achieve. So then you get the conclusion, okay, I give up, and then you become absent. Very common muscle evidence. After some time, they become absent. So they are not creating any troubles. However, they are not working much. Whatever you do on absence, with your needles and with your, is not working. Of course, they got the conclusion that I'm not going to do anything. But In a way, these are the most intelligent. Absence are the most intelligent in the story, even more intelligent than balance. You are balanced. Balance means I don't know exactly what is going on here. The pathogenic relationship in the group, these two are always fighting. Sometimes they love, sometimes they hate. It's strange for me. I'm doing my job. That's it. This is a balanced member, right? However, so they don't know about the pathogenic relationship as much. They think I have to maintain my job done. I don't care about these people. I'm doing. But absence, they know. Basically, they know because they have been through here. They were here before. I was your master before. Now, sorry, you go manipulate somebody else. I'm not going to be your master anymore. So I was inside the picture. Now I am outside the picture. So these are the ones who really know the story. They decide that, okay, impotency, and this is impossible, you are impossible. The other master is impossible. So let me go out of the picture. Usually, we don't do any treatment for these people. No needlings, not even with the talking to the patient. However, if the situation comes normal, you are working on these two, Sadist and Masochistic. If they go better, this one by itself, without touching it, it will rise up. It will become balanced if you balance the situation. Without just leave them alone. They want to be left alone. Leave them alone. Don't go and then leave them alone. Just work out the full situation. They are very clever. They will understand and things are going well. So they will step forward and say, now I want to participate. Just imagine a father and a mother fighting full day long, but they love each other somehow. Right? Then you as a kid, you come and say, guys, where are you fighting? You're trying to help. Then not possible. These two are always, then I just go to my room, play my games, they keep fighting, then I give up with my parents. It's no chance. Right? Suddenly one day, you're playing in your room and you sit and they are kissing, laughing. Then you go like, oh, today, no pathogenic relationships. What is strange, you know? Then you feel curious, and then let me, I don't trust these people. Let me see, wait until tomorrow. After 3 days, they're kissing, laughing, and then no fighting anymore. Then you feel like, okay, let me approach, and then what are you doing, guys? Can I sit with you? And then now you're starting to play with Mama and Papa, because so they respond when the situation is going fine. So for us, we don't interfere on this one. We don't do any treatment. But they are excellent for the diagnosis. They're telling us how is the progress of the full picture. If these people, without any action, they are coming to balance, coming high, it means that things are going fine in the treatment. So I'll use them at the second, third day to see the results of my treatment. But we don't do anything with them. All they just, they're helping us actually. They're the clever ones to telling us, you doctor are doing something right, because I could see the full group a little bit more balanced. If the whole thing is more balanced, these people will like to come back. Which one do you think is more powerful in terms of manipulation? A girl or a boy?
Girl.
A girl, yeah, much more, right? Because by nature, girls are to control the whole thing from inside. Holding the family, taking care of the children, not the son, no matter. Then you have by nature the full picture of everything. We are like trained. This is why men is usually is the best in records in society. We go like this one, and then the best cook, the best fighter, the best, always the best, because we are going in like one single line. Girls are all over at the same time. Multitask. This is very common and very famous, right? Girls are multitask and we are mono-direction. So in a way, we are very predictable. You know, and you play with us a lot. So, of course, Sadist gene is much more powerful than Sadist yang because it's on her nature. So this Sadist yang, it is like a stupid sadist. Not so powerful enough to create symptoms. So all this pulse taking is in relation with the symptom. In the symptom is strong, that this guy with the lung is a strong symptom. I'm expecting some Sadist gene because it matches with the symptom. If the symptom is mild, like not a big trouble, maybe it could be like Sadist yang, because they are less powerful in creating problems. Sometimes we have a Sadist yang in the group, but they are so obvious then everybody, even the balanced people, they catch him. So easily he's being caught, and then not possible to manipulate. If you are being caught by the group, it's the best thing, because then everybody told you, hey David, it's because you don't know how to swim, right? Oh, yes, yes. Then I confess. You confess your inferiority, stop being complex. So I suppose we have so many along the day, along the weeks, so sometimes we have this sadist jam, but the organs together, they sort it out. So this is why it doesn't bring a lot of problem, because he's so obvious. Then I come to, I'm so silly, and I come, do you think that this beach is not a good idea? And then what happened, David, you don't know how to swim? Oh my God, I've been caught. So stupid of me. But I say this gene is so clever that he will not make this mistake. Slowly, slowly, taking time. Gym is also more in time. If I got some uncomfortable feeling, let me do it in 1 week. Just let me first, one day analyzing, second day talking with one another, third day, slowly, this is gym. Jam is very, I feel uncomfortable, let me go with this one, making mistakes. Sadist gene is a strong symptom. Sadist jam sometimes not even symptom, because symptom goes away. You can be uncomfortable for a week with your stomach, and suddenly it goes fine by itself. Very rare we find this sadist jam, very rare. So our real effort, most of the time, and also depends with the symptom, it is these two. The real effort is between, are you really a killer, or you are not? The difficult to catch, it is the real female sadist. Female sadists are very clever. Yeah, usually this sadist jam, it is able to take 1 or 2 masses. No powerful enough. And the sadist gene, minimum, it is 3, usually 4, even 5. We are not using 5 too much of needles, but yeah, also in amount of muscles, also you can tell. So we are always expecting, when we get the pulse, is according with the problem. When are we expecting this pathogenic relationship? Basically, because of 2 things. The first one, it is when things are inexplicable. When the situation with the patient, it is not easy to explain. Let's say if I hit myself here, and the doctor, I have pain here because I have an accident yesterday, this is explicable, it makes sense. Then it's nothing to do with this pathogenic relationship. It is because of you slap yourself. This is why you have pain. So when things are inexplicable, difficult to understand, strange, weird, bizarre, we use symptomatic treatment when things are easy to understand. I have a problem in my hip because I'm holding my baby all day long. So this is where my hip, so this makes sense, it's explicable. So then we are expecting symptomatic treatment. Let me put it here, sorry to confuse you. So the thing is that symptomatic treatments are just mechanical problems, and origin treatment, it is when the organs create something on purpose. So it's some kind of intelligence behind. The symptomatic treatment is not intelligent behind, it's a mechanical problem. Maybe some kind of activity that you're doing wrong every day. Or when things make sense, however, they're taking too long. If the time is too long, let's say that I hit myself with this marker and I have pain right now, this makes sense. But if I still having pain 3 years after, then it's strange, right? It should be gone by now. So when things are too long, according with the logic, it is too long. So then we might think that it was not an accident, it was done on purpose by the sadist, and then it's sustaining the situation. You sustain the situation from the inside. Otherwise the immune system is very fast. It's like if you are doing some wound here, it should be healed in 3 days, or it's still there, after 3 months, still bleeding. Then it doesn't make sense now anymore. So it's explicable, however, stop being explicable as long as it's too long in time. Is it? When we have these 2 situations, they might think, okay, I don't think it's a mechanical issue, it is more like a origin treatment, some pathogenic relationship inside you, inside your organs. They're fighting. So this is why then they don't have the power to heal you up fast. Let me tell you how we identified sadis in the pulse. This sadis gene, this is how we draw. We draw this wavy line on the bottom. And for the sadis gene, Same thing, wavy line, however on the top. This is a way just to understand one another, but it makes sense with the sensitivity and the feelings that we get the pulse. So the nature of sadists is to hide. They don't want to be caught, right? So they want to hide. If we're talking about the powerful one, sadist gene, when you check the pulse, at first place, it might look similar to an absent. Every time we have an absent pulse, we have to draw a question mark. It could be it is a real absent, or maybe is hiding, and in reality is a sadist. So this is our question mark in the pulse taking. When we see a down pulse, it is really down, like a giving up attitude, or is it hiding the inferiority complex? They are very genius, so they will try even to trick you in the pulse. When you are checking the pulse, sometimes it's difficult to get. The only way, the difference, in order to differentiate, is it an absent or a sadist gene? It is the same thing that the policemen are doing. Imagine that you get somebody here, a suspicious person, you don't know if he's a real killer or not. So then you're asking, did you kill that person? And the sadist, which is a real killer, we say, no, I didn't kill it. Very calm. Usually they pretend to be calm. Yeah. But inside is like a revolution. Even sometimes even this vein is moving. But outside they're trying to, because they think I'm a good analyzer. So I know the people also analyze me. So I have to behave in a way that nobody caught me. And so they pretend, even though they have tension inside, they are very good actors, in a way. So when you are asking in this one, the suspicious person, did you kill that person? I say, no, I was at the cinema. No. You're asking an absent, the response will be the same. No, I was asking at the cinema. One of them is lying and the other one is telling the truth. The liar is the sadist. And absents are very honest. They have nothing to hide. So they will tell you, no, I was at the cinema. It is true, I didn't kill anybody. Now the policeman wants to know who is lying. The way they do it, the policeman you could see in the movies, it is like they put pressure on these two people. So that you put pressure on a sadist, that you said, we have a video with you killing it, maybe it's a lie, but you put pressure. So please confess, because we know we were you. It was you. You do it on an absent, he will say, no possible, you have a video. Truly, I was at the cinema, I didn't kill anybody. The more pressure, yes, they put this light here, you see in the movies, put this light sometimes, they slap in and put pressure on no, I didn't kill it. You put pressure on an absent, no response. But if you put pressure on this pretending fellow, pretending to be calm, you put pressure, then they jump. They jump high and say, yes, I killed it. It was a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, explosion of a confession. So you want the sadist to confess, you have to bring up this tension. Under tension, they jump. Absence, under tension, they don't do anything. They don't react. They are still as they are. So the policemen, they know the trick. So this is why one of the amazing books, and is one of my favorites, is the Crime and Punishment, by this Dostoevsky. This book is compulsory in Scotland Yard. The policeman, you have to study that book, and they give you an exam, because it is the mind of the mind of the murder, and how the murder slowly confess himself because of the tension he holding inside. Slowly he confesses himself, and the policeman is doing nothing. Only just bringing pressure. Every time the policeman is knocking, this is me. The other one gets. When you bring a lot of pressure to the real killer, he will come to your office and confess. It was me. I can't take this tension anymore. So this is what we do. We apply pressure on the suspicious. That's the only way to differentiate in pulse taking. However, it's quite difficult. The sensitivity is quite difficult to appreciate. We will have some other ideas, because pulse taking is not so easy. But this is sometimes we can feel it. When they confess, they go down again and trying to continue pretending. Yeah. They will say, sorry, I was nervous, but I didn't. They continue my tricks and see, they're so mental. So maybe it was like they pretend and you made it up or something. They continue, but the confession is there and they prosecute it. So this is the difference. If we talk about the Sadistic jam, it's a high pulse. So you confuse this one, you will confuse this one with a maso, question mark. You will confuse this one with an absent, question mark. So every time we see an absent, which is easy to identify it, or we see a maso evident, which is also easy to identify it, we have this question mark. Are you really a maso? Or you are a sadist hiding something? So when the pulse is high, if we put pressure, the same thing. This one is much easier to you don't need a very big amount of pressure because the jam are very obvious. When you see some high pulse, you put pressure on it, and if it falls down, apparently it's high, but easily collapsed. Then this is a Sadistic jam. If it's high, stable, maso evident. If it's high, but as soon as there are any kind of problems, making down, then it's a Sadistic jam. Just imagine, very common in these macho men, that it is abusing the wife or something, and they are very brave, but somebody trying to threaten him. If I confront you, then you will kind of like, very common in these people who are abusing the wife, then in reality they are very weak, but apparently they are high and strong. So these people are apparently, they are high, minimum problem, and they are like babies, nothing. First we get, this is the skin. We are touching one artery. Artery is like a vein. This artery is called radial artery because it's in the radial bone. So in pulse taking, we're checking this artery when we get in here. Same picture than before, always the yin is in the inside and the yang is at the surface. If I put my finger here, touching the surface of the artery, I am in the yang aspect of the organ. If I press deeper to the middle, not all the way down until I drain the vein, the artery. If you press too much, I will teach you later what is the sensitivity. So, but if you press to the middle of the artery, then you are in the yin aspect of the organ. Yeah, not so deep. You have to visualize more or less how is the artery. If the artery is like this, you visualize surface and middle. If you pressed all the way down, then it's nothing. Then you're collapsing the artery. The thing is that every time we have something down, we are not sure 100% if it's an absent, maso absent, or a sadist yin. When the pulse is high, we don't know exactly if it's a maso evident or a sadist yang. What we do in pulse taking is to give pressure, like policemen they do. The pressure that you can do with your finger is just you get to the point, and then you trouble it like this. You give it some troubles. See, this is tension. Tension with my finger and wait. You apply tension and wait. Apply tension and wait. It's not moving, then I think it's an absent. Absence with pressure, they don't react. If it's a real sadist, when you manipulate here and you wait, manipulate, this is pressure, like the pressure to the real killer. And the policeman, they do pressure, then you will see that suddenly it goes down and suddenly it goes like boom, boom, sometimes even twice or three times, boom, boom, and disappear again. Suddenly like tuk, well, it's very fast. So they do like confess and calm down again. You are not a real calm, giving up, absent. You are hiding something. So this is the way to do. When you get the pulse, a little bit, you manipulate, trouble it, you give it some trouble, some tension, and wait. Yeah, if it's a real absent, then nothing will happen. You put it, if it's not a real murder, it doesn't matter how much I shout. I'm not reacting. So this guy, it is free to go.